Hey Cancer, welcome to my channel. My name's Justin. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I use tarot as well as various other means to channel messages and provide guidance. This is going to be a tarot reading for the next 3 months, so September, October, November 2024, or whenever you happen to see this, it can still apply for the next 3 months. I ask for all my readings to be timeless. So I went to start your reading a few days ago and I pulled out two oracle cards that came out. I really liked what they were saying. I feel like I needed to bring it up, so I kind of left it. I just wasn't able to get to it just for reasons of life. But when you look at the darker aspects of both of these cards, uh, one is the Judge, the other is the Shapeshifter. The darker aspects talk about being overly critical, punishing, unforgiving, and building walls. And then with the shapeshifter, it talks about people pleasing and trickery. Could be trickster energy. So these are kind of darker energies to keep in mind over these next few months. Maybe they are things that you might want to look at or work on within yourself. And when you transmute these into the lighter aspects, the judge becomes an advocate for others, and it's able to discern and be compassionate with others, and then know what action is the right action to take. And then the shapeshifter, when it is in light aspect, you are able to be more adaptive and live vibrant and humorous, or be humorous and live vibrant. Those are just two things to keep in mind over these next few months. I was going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck too, or maybe just one. We'll see. Just to kind of add to any themes that you might have over these next few months. Things to be aware of. Also, this card came up as I was using it as a bookmark for the book for this oracle deck. But in this deck, it talks, instead of judgment, it uses karma, um, which is pretty self-explanatory, but I feel like just being mindful of what karma you give yourself by living in these darker aspects and being overly critical, that tends to kind of come back to you. Whereas the opposite's true. If you are advocating for others, that'll come back to you in a positive way. So this says unfolding according to your will. It says change me, divine beloved, into one who lets you guide things according to your will. May the highest unfold in all ways. So being trusting in the universe, in whatever higher power you believe in, just trusting in the universe's perfect timing could be an important theme to be mindful of over these next few months. So I'm going to use a different tarot deck for the next 3 months. For September, that will also be the current energy. So what is currently going on with you, Cancer, and what will be unfolding over the next month of September. So you could have been really pushing through some kind of more difficult energies. You could be triggered by people and situations going on. This could have to do with negative self-beliefs you have. But over the next rest of September or the next month, in your mind space, you will maybe start to come to completion about things that you've been really pushing through. Maybe seeing the big picture with some difficult situations, some confrontations with others, and then you may also, due to this, you may have a transformation in your heart space and might be able to begin to rely on others and maybe open up and be more vulnerable with other people. Um, the Nine of Pentacles upright is usually about self-sufficiency, but in reverse, I'm just intuitively feel like it is talking about maybe leaning on others a little more rather than just yourself, being willing to lean on others a little bit more. So in October, what does Cancer have going on? Also, over the rest of September, you might be letting go of these darker, judge-like energies of being super critical of others' actions. And maybe because of this higher knowing and understanding of usually people are acting out of their own triggers and their own childhood wounds, usually, stuff like that. Um, you'll start to be more forgiving and discerning of why things are the way they are, why people are behaving the way they're behaving. So in October, you may begin to manifest something that you've been thinking about quite a bit. This could be maybe building relationships that you want to build, letting go of disputes. The Two of Wands. Um, usually, any of the twos just talks about choices, but with this Two of Wands, it looks like they're just like arguing or having some kind of dispute, and the person in the middle is kind of looking at it, kind of like grinning at it, just like the foolishness of the situation. Maybe this could be just having a higher knowing. Also, I feel like Four of Pentacles energy could be significant in you conserving resources for yourself. So, what's going on in your heart space for October? What is at the heart of Cancer in October? So yeah, you could have had a lot of anxieties, maybe as you began to transform some darker energies. You could have had a lot of things that were keeping you up at night, but I think you're going to begin to let down your walls and not be so guarded. I think that's actually what it talks about with the shapeshifter energy as well. And because of this, you'll be stepping into more of an optimistic energy. This is a Page of Swords or Page of Bats in this deck, which just talks about walking in your truth, being optimistic, knowing that you are on the right path, and knowing that you are supported in your truth and integrity and authenticity. So I think as you begin to see the higher perspective or the big picture with some of these disputes that you've had recently, this is just going to allow you to be more free-spirited and willing to just enjoy life again and be authentic. So let's see what we got going on for November. Also, I always leave the tarot decks that I use for my readings and each reading in the description box below. Also, if you happen to be reading or seeing this far, appreciate a like or a follow. Been trying to grow this channel a little bit if you resonate with these messages. So I think you're going to start to make some significant progress in November because we got 9, 10, and then Wheel of Fortune, which is 10, and then Justice, which is 11. And the minor arcana is usually like smaller events in life, whereas the major arcana is like bigger events in our life. So it could have like a rippling effect, like you actually you might become more self-sufficient in November and letting go of having to rely on others or just relying on others. It's not good to have to rely and be codependent, but you maybe by actually putting yourself out there again, you are able to be even more confident in your being self-sufficient. And then this could lead to the Ten of Pentacles energy, which is like one of the more positive, the most positive minor arcana cards. It talks about long-term stability, happy family, just generational wealth, good times, contentment, a lot of just positive things. I feel like that could be your mind space. And then I think you're going to have a change of fortune for the better with the Wheel of Fortune. And I think this is going to be as a result of maybe seeing the big picture and building relationships with others again. And then it's interesting that we got the Justice as your last card. I think this is like confirmation that you will transmute the darker aspects of the Judge energy and live in the balanced state of the Justice card and be able to be an advocate for others and discerning and living for what is just and true, and then taking right action going forward. So yeah, I think that's great. I am just gonna pull a self-care oracle card for you. I always like to do this. I was going to bring this up just because it's been something I've been thinking about. I really have noticed it helping a lot. It's such a basic thing, but just making sure you drink enough water is so huge. I know for me, I don't think I drank enough water a lot in the past, um, but I've just been making sure I have been drinking enough more recently, and it just makes such a huge difference. I feel like one of the biggest things I've noticed with it is the ability to kind of get over the hump of taking action and actually starting to take action. I feel like when you're hydrated, it makes it easier to kind of get the ball rolling sometimes. Maybe it's just something for me that I've noticed, but it could be helpful. Also, something I've heard recently, which I was not aware of before, um, is that you can actually get headaches from being dehydrated, and this is from your brain essentially shrinking and not being rested on your skull like it should, and this can cause headaches. So just something, little tidbit for you to know. So just make sure you're staying hydrated. It really is so huge. So planning a vacation, you might be looking to plan a vacation maybe this winter or just sometime maybe next year in the future could be a good thing for you to do. Start actually planning a vacation. I know I want to start to do something this winter. I want to go snowboarding or something, but yeah. So that is what I have for you, Cancer, and I will see you in the new moon reading, if not next time. Take care.